Friends, welcome back. Zoram Luna, your Southern California real estate expert. So today I wanted to do a recap of my 2021 predictions that I made 12 months ago. Let's go ahead and get started. Prediction number one, I predicted that home prices would continue to appreciate between 4 and 12%. Well, was I right? Or in other words, maybe I underestimated how strong real estate prices would be here in Southern California. Let's look at the numbers. December 1st of 2020 in San Bernardino County, the median home price, when I say home price, I'm talking about both houses, townhomes, and condominiums to be more specific, was $400,000. Fast forward to 12 months and it's $470,000. That is the middle, that is the medium home price. That is an increase of 17.5% or $70,000. In Riverside County, we went from $457,000 a year ago to $541,000. That is an increase of 18.5% or $84,000 increase in equity. In LA County, we went from $735,000 up to $815,000. That is an increase of 11% or an increase of $80,000. And in Orange County, we went from $790,000 to $925,000 or an increase of 17%, which translates into an increase of $135,000 increase in equity. So was I right? Yes, I was right. In fact, I underestimated how much prices would go up in the last 12 months. Prediction number two, rates would remain at record low. Okay, look, 12 months ago, the rates were at around 2% for mortgages. That's the lowest it had ever been. Fast forward to 12 months, and we're at around 3%. Now, to get an idea of how these numbers compare historically, right? Anything at 5% or lower is considered low. 12 months ago, we were at 2%. Fast forward to now, and we're at 3% plus or minus 0.25. They're still very low. Prediction number three, inventory would remain at record lows. To put these numbers into context, I want to give you an idea of what a normal market looks like. A normal market is 5 to 6 months worth of inventory. That's how long it would take for the market to actually sell all of these properties. Now, with that said, let's go back to December 1st of 2020. In San Bernardino County, a year ago, it was at 1.7 months. Fast forward, 12 months later, we're at 1.6. It's dropped. In Riverside County, it was 1.9. Fast forward, 12 months, we're at 1.5. It dropped. LA, we went from 2.3 months to 1.5 months. It's dropped. Orange County, we went from 1.5 months to 0.8. So year over year, or over the last 12 months, it's actually dropped. What do I predict moving forward? I think we might see a slight increase, but it's still going to remain very low. So far, 3 out of 3, right? Prediction number four was that migration out of California in general would continue to happen or increase. Look, there is no mass exodus of Californians moving out of California. And I'll tell you why. Because when you actually subtract the inflow from the outflow, it's not as much as the headlines would have you believe. With that said, there is a total net loss in general. So I believe that this will continue to happen for many reasons, but obviously number one being the fact that California is a very expensive place to live in. There are two things that I want to point out. In general, people that move to California tend to be more educated, more well-educated, and more affluent, which means that they can afford these type of home prices. And number two, the Inland Empire area saw an increase of 250,000 people move into the area, which is actually tied with Phoenix for the most amount of people moving in. That is huge. That's 250,000 people. Why? Well, there's a lot of reasons, but number one, home prices here in the Inland Empire area tend to be more affordable versus some of the surrounding counties like LA and Orange County. There is also more of a middle class versus some of these other counties, which is also something that makes it a lot more attractive. I think that for 2021, we're going to see very, very similar numbers. Prediction number 5 was that when it came to U.S. policy, government policy affecting California as a state, with Kamala Harris being from California and Senator Padilla being from Southern California, that any policy put into place at a nationwide level would impact California in a positive way. Well, what happened? Well, we know that there was an eviction moratorium, and there was also a moratorium put into place to make sure that renters stayed in their property if they were impacted by COVID. Here we are 12 months later, and it's safe to say that both policies in general did impact Californians in a positive way. Yes, there were a lot of landlords that were also impacted in a negative way, but as a whole, I believe that it was something that did benefit a lot of people. So, how did I do in my predictions? Well, I think I was 5 out of 5, 100%. Look, I take pride in my profession, right? I do this day in and day out. I study the facts, the figures. I look past the headlines, and I do my best to make sure that when I create this content for you, right, that I do my research so that when you are ready to either sell, to buy a second or a third property, you're dealing with another professional, right? That has also done their homework. Thank you for tuning in. I'm excited for 2022 and what it has for all of us. Call me, text me if you have any questions. Thank you. God bless. Adios.